Hello, everyone. My name's Henry G, and I have a game studio in Los Angeles. We make AAA games, mobile games, PC, all types of stuff. So, but the thing is that looking in this room, I'm actually really honored because you guys will be the future of how games are going to be made. And by seeing this, you know, it's been very good to me. So hopefully being on this path will give you guys a lot of joy and success. So I remember a time when I was like a little kid. I was probably about 7. And my parents basically got Atari 2600, a really old machine. And I'll continue to play this thing, and I remember my dad will come in and look at me in the morning, then go off to work. Well, the thing is, I'll continuously play this game. I'll go eat, come back, and he'll come back from work really late, and he'll look at this 7-year-old boy still in the same spot playing this Mr. Pac-Man with calloused hands, a broken joystick. And he looks at me, he goes, "Hey," in Korean, he goes, "Hey, kid." He goes, "Hey, is that going to feed you?" I looked at my dad straight in the eye. I said, "Yeah, it is." Continue to play the game. Who would have knew that I would be making video games today? My father doesn't believe, in his mind that this was possible. But what he bought me as a little child, was basically, my love. So, well, after that, I went to a community college called Mercer County. At the time, money wasn't, really good, so I had to go there. Those were my only options, and luckily I did go because they had a great computer art program. At the time, I was pretty much like a skateboarder, punk kid. Really didn't saw authority as something that can be defeated, but I took a chance with this one art teacher, and I remember going out to the park, and basically he goes, "Draw something in nature." So I basically found dog poop, and I drew that, and he looked at it and said, "Wow, look at the shading, and look at the silhouette. It's amazing." And I thought he was just joking around with me. I looked at it, and he goes, "Wow, you actually know how to draw." I don't know if he was lying or whatever, but that is it basically allowed me to, respect art and really understand how it was all put together. So after that, I went to Savannah College of Art and Design because I wanted to further my education. So I got a computer art degree there. And shortly after that, I went to LA. So, but the funny thing is that I wasn't really going to get the degree at Savannah College of Art and Design. Actually, I just went there to just create a game. So basically, I guess it was a class placement person. I forget what the title was, but she looked at me and said, "You're basically jumping out of your major. You're doing programming here, you're doing animation here, you're doing sculpting. It's like you're not in your major." And I looked at her. I said, "Well, these are the things I need to make a video game." And she was, she didn't know what to say. But anyway, I got the degree. As soon as I graduated, they formed a gaming class based off the thing that I wrote down, which I was like, wow, that's great. So yeah, I went to LA, decided to go get a game job. I worked on 007, which was awesome. I saw guys get shot up, and it was so amazing. It was PlayStation 1, but it was like the greatest thing ever. And but what I was really well known for was the Hawk series. I mean, a kid from New Jersey, basically skateboarding with the pros. I mean, I met Tony Hawk. I mean, I met Costin. I mean, Rodney Mullen. I mean, I still, I still skateboard. I mean, yeah, it was pretty awesome. and also the chance to make some of the most amazing games ever. I mean, those were really fun games back in the day. I met my two partners, and we decided to break away from the system, get away from the man, and start designing our own games. And we've been around for about 7 years now, and we're still fighting hard. And we're not going to back down until we create an amazing game. So right here, I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up. I go to a lot of studios to basically help out with their pipelines, and I see, I guess, some of the way they create these pipelines, and they're quite, they make things really hard. And this is probably just common sense stuff, and if I put you to sleep, I'm sorry, but it's a very important thing. So I have on my computer, I'll show you a file structure, which I'm not naming any company or anything like that. I'm just going to expose this and say, hey, check out this directory structure, because this is what you're going to see when you go out and work for a small studio. Big studios, probably not, maybe a little bit, but it'll be easily corrected, But I'll show you what a bad directory structure looks like. Oh. Yeah, Darth Vader is my favorite. So, example, okay, yeah, this is a bad file structure right here. So, basically, can anyone direct me to find an animation file on the screen? You guys were meant to fail. I'd say no, and we can speed this up, and you guys can go home early. So you guys can party. But yeah, this is some of the structure that I have to encounter at different studios. And it doesn't take that long, because you basically need someone that really knows how to flow through this chaotic mess. So basically, all the stuff is here, but there's some files and folders in here that are useless. So they just take up space. I have no idea, what these files are. So this is terrible. It's okay, it's bad, okay? And going towards, going to a good file structure. You guys are probably saying this is just common sense. You know what? It's not common sense to some people. So be aware. Okay, this is our game right here, right? Just whatever, your game. Okay, can you tell me where the characters are? Correct. Design? Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? So basically, you're telling someone a direction to go to, and you want the direction to have great clarity, so you won't get lost. So if I open up this file structure 10 years later, I will know exactly how everything is built, because I know where to go. That is a nice person. Like, thank you for doing this. So same thing with, God, naming structures. File naming structures are very important. I will see file names, I will say Object01. Textures, I will just be a texture, something, like 01. There's no description. So to make things really simple, you just name it off. Android Builder is one of the characters. And after that, you just add the description. That's total common sense. Android, C for color maps. Some people say diffuse, normal maps. It's just real basic stuff. Pretty boring, huh? Next thing, after basically the file structure is, believe it or not, do any of you guys use Perforce? No? Okay. Being an artist, Perforce is freaking awesome. Like, I love Perforce. That is like my #1 program above all programs, because when I was working at Neversoft, a whole file got corrupted. And that was basically, without that program, if I didn't have a backup system, I would have been basically screwed. We would have missed a milestone, and no one would have got paid. So thank God for Perforce that it backs things up. It just saves, you know, multiple copies of this program by change and by date. So all I had to do is go back and resync my file, and everything was good. So if you guys use any type of program, please download it. It's free. Get used to it, because every single company uses Perforce. Understand this tool. This is your lifesaver. Like, this will save your behind. And another important thing too is that if any of you guys want to start a company straight out of school, okay, there's content which needs to be saved, right? Basically, all your source assets is money, okay? Do not build something and just say, hey, I'm just going to save it here and forget about it. The source asset files need to mirror what is in the in-game content, so that the paths are correct, so you can find these files. So which is basically this. These are all your source assets. Whoops, this one's empty. Sorry, I did it last night. So empty. Yes, there you go. Perfect. Props. Oh, props. Great. Trees. So just pretend there's actual source files in there, and basically you're just mirroring what it is in the in-game content. So.